Hey everyone, let's do another review. Things got a bit funky yesterday, and I need to do a video to explain the context setup and the thought process about it. We had good earnings for Microsoft and Meta, or at least the market reacted positively. The earnings themselves don't matter that much. We are probably slightly higher than this because we went a bit higher in futures, but not much, like 560-ish. This is the year start AVWAP, which I think will become resistance. We may go a bit further to actually hit the Liberation Day close, but I stand by my reasoning about, or not the reasoning, because I haven't explained the reasoning, but the idea that this will be the top of this move up. And uh, what I saw yesterday in activity kind of confirms this, and I want to show you guys what this is. I'll start with the print, and we have a number one print for IVV, which uh, for me, actually, let's do last 90 days. Basically, we're coming into this distribution area here. So number one print, but coming into resistance area, we have these horizontal levels like 560, 561, 567, and so on. Basically, a landmine of resistance areas here from previous prints, and where this leg started. And I don't see us going through it anytime soon, or at least on the first try. And I added more prints here. You can see that there's a lot more distribution than initially thought. So while not necessarily imminently bearish, and I do think we'll stay around this area for a couple of days, uh, although it could be imminent, it could be an instant rejection, I don't see us breaking through this immediately. Then we have a couple more concerning prints, which is VWO, which is Emerging Markets China, which combined with Ixus, which I mentioned a couple of days ago as well. Was there anything else? International BBIN, like a number four print. That's kind of it. And let's make last 90 days. Trades. And we have a couple of trades here. It's at the end of the rally. Don't doesn't look that encouraging. Into a double top. I mentioned this as well the previous time I noted this. It makes absolutely no reason to be long at at this point. Like the why would you long into resistance? Why would you long into a double top? It would make sense if we actually go higher because it will signal a breakout. And if you buy the breakout, that makes sense. But buying pre-breakout makes absolutely no sense, and you could have bought all the like the past couple of weeks. You could have bought at any point and still make a better trade. This makes no sense to be a long. I stand by the idea that this is a rejection, not a rejection, a sell, and there will be many more. There can be more trades here in this area here, and there were actually more. Now for BBIN, it's kind of the same because it's virtually the same ticker. Number one trade here again after a big rally. Why would you long here on China when you could have longed at any point on the way up? It's also into horizontal levels here into distribution. Even though there are not ranked prints, it doesn't make sense to be long here. This one looks like Ixus. Yeah, same kind of logic. But the final nail in the coffin is there were a lot of prints on 3x Bullfang, 3x Bullfang. and high prints as well. And these are interesting because of a technicality. And let me explain. First of all, when did these trades come in? And I'll look here. Uh, on my time zone, the market is open between 4:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. So when you see here the trade in this area here, you can see the timing of the trades, and one we have at 11:54 p.m. So this is 54 minutes after the market closes, and then we have 0:48 on May 1st. So basically, we went into the new day, and one and a half hours after the market closes, we have this print. But the price here is 1462, which is the closing price, and this is wrong. And you see this shown here, like because this service doesn't know how to use post-market price, but the trades, because it's post-market, actually happen here. So they are shown lower, but because of the gap up post-market and the fact that the trades happen post-market, very late post-market, they actually happen here. So what we actually have on our hands is post-market action at the top of the gap up on 3x leverage ETN for FANG. Uh, and we have number 3 print, number 5 print, number 4 print, number 1 print. So huge prints on 3x leverage ETN. And then we have the other one, which is the same. Like you can see that the prints were 11:45 p.m. and an hour and a half basically after the market closes, the rest of the prints. And again, this doesn't know how to reconcile this in price, and it shows the same price as the close, which is 398.04. But they actually happened here because it was post-market. So the gap up had already happened, or the move up had already happened, and the prints are actually here. So we have, again, another 3x leverage ETN of FANG, and we have what looks to be selling. I again don't see this being the buy moment with the macro context. This is almost sure selling, and it's selling on the FANG ETF after the Microsoft and Meta earnings. Today, after the market, we have Apple and Amazon, so this is still under effect, basically FANG, and we still see selling. So they're not waiting for Apple and Amazon earnings. They they sold. Like again, there is absolutely no reason to think these are buys. If they are not buys, they are sells. They waited for the gap up, and then they sold. And that's kind of the reason. On top of this, we still have some put activity. This is IWM, and while not unusual because IWM kind of looks like this every day, like they have activity in. Uh, Actually, I'll show this. Have activity in 185, 170, on whatever, 184, 186. But the unusual part here is that, and it doesn't stick around. You see, like this was 54K, and then we have only increases 24K, 60, 36K, and so on. This was plus 50K, but now I think we will have OI increases because of this, and we have activity in 182, 184, and I think this time OI will stick around. And for me, this is short dated. So I'm assuming this is either a bet on more economic data softening, and we have jobs data on Friday. We have, this is today, we have some ISM stuff. But on Friday, we have unemployment, non-farm payrolls, and these are the big ones, and some other stuff as well, obviously. But I think this is a bet that we will get economic softening data because it's too short dated to not be this. So all of this together, basically more distribution in the international ETFs, so Ixus, Bibin, and there were others a couple of days ago. What looks like distribution in VWO, which is China ETF. Then we have a number one print in IVV, and basically IVV is SPY. Doesn't it was also post market. Doesn't make sense to get a number one print in this area unless it is distribution. And the cherry on top being the FANG, the 3x Bull FANG late prints that the system here shows like they were closing prints, but they were not. They were exactly at the top of this move up, and it's very likely that these were sells, not buys, because you would think that if you were trustful in something, it would be Meta and Microsoft. My reasoning why I believe this will be bullish is because they are not physical companies. They only work in or they mostly work in digital, and I thought digital will be strong. So my reasoning for why I thought Meta and Microsoft would do well and we would go up from them is because Google did the same. Google is also mostly digital, so Microsoft and Meta were digital as well, so they would do well. But with Amazon and Apple, they are physical companies or partially physical companies, and I think physical companies will not do well. So the logic of being long FANG is what I explained earlier. Now that the digital companies have passed from FANG, the only thing that is left is the physical companies, and not bullish on those ones, so it makes sense to sell. Uh, on the other hand, you waited all this time for the digital companies to pass and for the for FANG to go up. Uh, that's FNGA. So you waited all this time. We also have the gap up. So you you waited all this area here. Come on, I'm not clicking. Wait. Bam! Go long big on 3x leverage ETFs in this area after this. Who the fuck would do that? Like, if this is the way smart money behaves, they're not really smart money, they're stupid money. So you don't wait all of this and then go long. You go long somewhere along here, or at least before Google, Microsoft, and Meta earnings. Going long after Microsoft and on 3x long ETF ETN after those earnings is moronic, absolutely moronic. So this have to be sells, and if these are sells, then it's not that bullish. Now going back to SPY. Actually, let me delete these things. Okay, going back to SPY, we are at the year start AVWAP, which is going to become a big level in the future. We can potentially recapture it and go higher, but later on. Right now, considering the context that I just explained, the economic data breaking down, like it was a bit surprising that the first quarter GDP was negative, but not that surprising. Uh, and activity in IWM, which I think this one is legit and would suggest that some expectation of further breakdown in hard data. Uh, this on top of IAF. So IAF is 10-year yield, 10-year bond ETF, and we had this activity here, basically a double of the OI, and I don't think this. I think this will increase, maybe not by 110k, but maybe plus 50k on OI. We'll find out tomorrow. So basically long bonds, uh, and all the resistance here. I stand by my prediction. I don't know exactly how it will happen. Like I said, I think we can go sideways for a couple of days, but we can also just get instantly rejected and faded. And depending on what the outcome for Apple and Amazon earnings, it can be a fast rejection or slow rejection. So for today, like I said, I think we can still go a bit higher, but eventually I think we get faded and then close maybe at the AVO up for the day. And then we get the earnings, and earnings can get us this, or earnings can get us a bit more sideways. Maybe we go back again and go sideways, and eventually I think we break down. So this is the update for today and the reasoning behind it. Hope it helps you guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.